He was ready to give up, not just in the bedroom but in life. His mornings felt empty. His body didn't feel like his own anymore. The spark was gone, and with it his confidence, his pride, his identity. Doctors shrugged. Friends said, "It's just age." But deep inside he knew this wasn't him. And then one morning he made a small change. No magic pill, no expensive therapy, just one simple act. One egg. You see, the truth is hiding in plain sight in your fridge, on your plate, and it starts long before any symptoms show up. That slow, creeping loss of energy, the feeling that something's missing, the quiet voice telling you, maybe this is just how it ends. But it doesn't have to be. The egg, nature's most complete food, holds a secret power that science is finally rediscovering. Inside that shell is not just breakfast. It's a hormone rebuilding, energy igniting, confidence restoring powerhouse. Let's break it down. Vitamin B12, critical for nerve function and blood flow. Without it, you don't just feel tired, you feel disconnected. And most men over 60 are deficient. Choline, the unsung hero. It helps your brain communicate with your body. Low choline means slower reactions, poor memory, and even reduced sexual performance. High-quality protein, the kind that feeds your muscles and supports testosterone production. And not just any protein, complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids. And then there's cholesterol, the very building block of testosterone. For decades, we were told to fear the yolk. But your body needs that healthy fat to manufacture hormones. Without it, testosterone declines, mood dips, and performance fades. Here's the twist. One egg a day isn't just a meal, it's a message. A signal to your body that says, I'm not done yet. That's what James, 67, realized. He wasn't broken. He was just starving his system of what it needed most. So why aren't we told this? Why is something so simple kept in the shadows while prescriptions pile up? Because food doesn't come with a commercial. Because nature doesn't sell subscriptions. But your body remembers. And it responds if you give it the right tools. Now ask yourself, how do you start your day? With a list of regrets? Or with a habit that fuels your fire? One egg won't solve everything, but it might just be the first step in reminding your body how to come alive again. And maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of your story. Maybe it's the moment everything changes. One egg, one habit, one decision. The rest is up to you. If this made something stir inside you, pass it on. Someone else is waiting for a sign too. You wake up, look in the mirror, and something feels off. The face is familiar, but the fire behind the eyes? Dimming. You tell yourself it's just aging, normal. But deep down, you know something's slipping away. And here's the part no one tells you. Millions of men over 60 feel exactly the same way, but they stay quiet. They hide it behind jokes, behind silence, behind work. Because talking about it feels like admitting defeat. But let's speak the truth, not because you're weak, but because you're ready to fight back. What's happening isn't just about getting older. It's about hormones. It's about testosterone, the chemical that once fueled your confidence, drive, strength, and identity as a man. After 60, your levels drop. And with that drop comes fatigue, low mood, muscle loss, and yes, issues in the bedroom. But even more painful is the emotional weight. Feeling invisible, disconnected, unsure of who you are now. You start wondering why your energy's gone. Why your body doesn't respond the way it used to. You're not imagining it. As testosterone falls, so does nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes your blood vessels and supports circulation. Less blood flow means less vitality, less stamina. Not just in one area, in all areas of your life, and it doesn't happen all at once. It's slow, quiet. You don't even notice it until one day you feel like a shadow of the man you used to be. It's not about performance, it's about identity. About wanting to feel like yourself again, strong, clear-headed, alive. But here's the hidden part. This decline isn't always nature. It's often nurture or the lack of it. Poor diet, constant stress, fear of cholesterol, low protein intake, a lifestyle that forgot how to fuel a man's body. These silent habits quietly rob you of your edge, and while the world pushes quick fixes and pills, the real answer is simpler, quieter, and more lasting. It starts with understanding your body, with feeding it what it truly needs, with reclaiming the rhythms that once gave you power. Now pause, breathe, think of the man you used to be and the one you still are. That strength isn't gone, it's waiting. And the decision to find it again? That's yours. If this spoke to you, if it felt like I just described your mornings, then maybe you're not alone. And maybe it's time someone finally said, "You're not broken, you're just waking up, so stay with me." Because in the next few minutes, I'll show you one change that could start bringing it all back. You wake up. The coffee's hot, but your energy isn't. Your body feels slower, your focus foggy, and your confidence, especially down there, not what it used to be. And maybe you've silently accepted it. Maybe you've blamed age. But what if I told you that the key to turning this around doesn't come in a bottle or a complicated plan, but from something sitting right there in your kitchen? One food, one habit, one truth we've been ignoring for years. Let's go back to something ancient. Something your father probably ate every morning without thinking twice, the humble egg. But not just for breakfast, for biology. For manhood. Inside that shell is one of nature's most complete sources of male fuel. I'm talking about vitamin B12, not just for nerves and energy, but for healthy blood flow to every part of your body, including the one that matters most when confidence is on the line. And then there's choline, a nutrient you've likely never thought about, but your brain has, your muscles have, and yes, even your performance has. Choline supports neurotransmitters that spark desire, memory, and coordination. Without enough of it, you feel sluggish, physically, mentally, and intimately. But here's where the story turns. You've probably been told to avoid eggs. Too much cholesterol, they said. Bad for the heart, they said. But science says otherwise. New studies show that dietary cholesterol doesn't damage your heart. In fact, the cholesterol in eggs is what your body uses to build testosterone. That's right, the very hormone you're losing as you age depends on the thing they told you to fear. One egg delivers the raw material your body needs to fuel masculinity. And let's not forget protein, pure, clean, muscle supporting. Protein, as testosterone falls, muscle mass drops, joints ache, and metabolism slows. Protein from eggs helps fight all of that, rebuilding strength and keeping your system firing like it used to. Think about it. All these benefits, energy, memory, blood flow, hormone production, inside one small forgotten food. You don't need exotic herbs or expensive pills. You need to stop fearing what nature made to nourish you. Remember how you used to feel? That drive, that spark, that sense of being in control. It's not gone, it's just waiting for the right signal. And maybe that signal isn't loud. Maybe it's quiet, simple, softly cracking open in the pan. Every morning. If you've been feeling like your edge is fading, maybe it's time to bring back what fed your strength in the first place. Because sometimes, reclaiming your power starts not with a prescription, but with a plate. You wake up. The room's quiet, but your thoughts aren't. You used to rise with energy, with purpose, with strength. But now mornings feel heavy. You move slower, think slower, feel less like yourself. Is this just age? Or is something deeper going on inside you? What if I told you the answer isn't a complex drug or expensive therapy? What if it starts with one simple thing, something most of us overlook every single day? One egg. Science now says one egg a day could be the most underrated way to support testosterone naturally, especially for men over 60, not just because of protein, not just because of calories, but because eggs contain something your body is quietly begging for: dietary cholesterol. Yes, the very thing you were told to fear for years might be the very thing your hormones are starving for. You see, testosterone is built on cholesterol. It's the raw material your body uses to create the hormones that drive strength, focus, muscle growth, and intimacy. And when you don't get enough from food, your body slows down. Not just physically, but emotionally. Less motivation, less desire, less of that old fire. Sound familiar? One study found that older men who ate just one egg a day had significantly higher testosterone than those who didn't, not because of magic, because of science. That small amount of cholesterol kick-started their hormone production the natural way, without pills or injections. But that's just the beginning. Eggs also deliver complete protein, the kind your muscles recognize instantly. And when your muscles are supported, your body produces more testosterone. It's a feedback loop. Strength feeds hormones, and hormones feed strength. That's why skipping protein in the morning can set the tone for a day of weakness and fatigue. And then there's choline, a nutrient found richly in egg yolks. Choline powers your brain, supports your nerves, and helps regulate mood. It even plays a role in sexual function. Low choline levels? Think low motivation, low energy, and yes, performance struggles. So why does all this matter in the morning? Because morning is when your testosterone is naturally at its highest. That's when your body is most ready to rebuild, to refuel, to rise. And feeding it an egg is like handing it the key to your engine. Maybe it sounds too simple. But maybe simple is exactly what your body has been waiting for. You don't need to chase expensive solutions. You just need to reconnect with something basic. Something powerful. Something that's always been there. And maybe tomorrow morning, when you crack open that egg, you'll feel it, the beginning of something coming back to life. Not just in your body, but in your confidence, because this story isn't over. It's just getting started. He sat alone most mornings, staring into his coffee, wondering where the energy had gone. Robert, 68, wasn't just tired, he was defeated. His body felt foreign. His confidence? Gone. And intimacy? Something he once cherished was now something he quietly avoided. He never talked about it, not even with his wife. But every time he caught her disappointed glance, it stung, not because of her judgment, but because deep down he missed the man he used to be. Then one morning, something changed. It wasn't a doctor's appointment. It wasn't a new medication. It was a conversation he overheard in a cafe. Two men just like him once saying, "You know what worked for me? One egg every single morning, just one egg." It sounded too simple. But Robert had tried everything else. So the next morning he cracked an egg into a pan, cooked it, and ate it. Nothing magical happened that day. Or the next, but by day 5 he noticed something. His thoughts were clearer. His steps a little lighter. By the second week he was waking up earlier with energy. And by week 3, something he hadn't felt in months returned. Desire. Robert started taking daily walks around his block. Nothing intense, just movement. He upped his water intake, cut the evening chips, and stuck with his morning egg. He didn't tell anyone for a while. He didn't want to jinx it. But he knew something had shifted. He wasn't just waking up with energy. He was waking up with hope. You see, what Robert didn't know at the time was that this one egg, just 70 calories, was loaded with nutrients his body had been craving. Cholesterol, the building block of testosterone. Choline, the brain's best friend for mood and memory. Complete protein, the kind that tells muscles, "Wake up. We're still in this." No miracle pill, no risky treatments. Just breakfast. Maybe you've been there too. Quiet mornings that feel heavy. Days where everything takes effort. Moments where you wonder, is this just what getting older feels like? But maybe, like Robert, you just need to try something small. Something simple. And if you're still watching, maybe this message was meant for you. Maybe your comeback doesn't start in a clinic. Maybe it starts in your kitchen. So tomorrow morning, try it. Just one egg, give your body what it's been waiting for. And if even a small part of you felt something in this story, don't keep it to yourself, because sometimes sharing hope helps it grow. He wakes up before the sun, not because he's full of energy, but because sleep has become light, restless, and brief. He shuffles to the kitchen. The near catches him off guard again. Same eyes, but the spark behind them seems to have faded. If you're a man over 60, maybe this sounds familiar. Mornings aren't what they used to be. You used to jump out of bed. Now it feels like your body needs convincing. But here's the twist: the change you crave might not start with a doctor, a supplement, or a prescription. It might start with your breakfast plate. Specifically with a single simple egg. Let's talk science. An egg isn't just food, it's a hormonal reset button. Inside that smooth little shell is a mix of high-quality protein and healthy fats, especially cholesterol, which your body needs to make testosterone, not synthetic versions. Your own, naturally, safely, quietly, but it's not just what you eat, it's how, it's when, and it's what you eat it with. That's where things get interesting. The best way to unlock an egg's full benefit? Boil it, or poach it, not fried. Keep the oil out of the equation. Add spinach or half an avocado on the side. Why? Because leafy greens and healthy fats boost nitric oxide levels, the very compound your body uses to relax blood vessels, improve blood flow, and yes, enhance performance where it matters most. You see, this is about more than breakfast. It's about sending your body the right signal first thing in the morning. That's why timing matters. Eat the egg as soon as you wake. Not after a scroll through the news. Not after checking emails. Make it your first act of self-respect. Want to amplify the effect? Here's the trifecta: 1 egg, black coffee, and 10 minutes of morning sunlight. Why? Coffee gives your metabolism a gentle push. Sunlight signals your brain to lower melatonin and raise testosterone. Together, they act like a morning ignition switch for your system. Now ask yourself, how long has it been since you felt strong in the morning? Since you felt like your day belonged to you, not the other way around. You don't have to answer out loud. But if this stirred something inside you, take it as a sign. A message meant only for you. And if someone else comes to mind, a friend, a brother, a neighbor who needs to hear this, don't keep it in. Pass it on quietly. Like a secret that deserves to be shared. Because change doesn't start big. It starts small. With 1 egg, 1 morning. 1 man choosing to feel alive. Again. If you're over 60, you've probably noticed something unsettling. Not just the gray hair or the stiffness in your knees, but a kind of silence. A silence from the people you trust most with your health. Your doctor didn't mention it. Your specialist didn't bring it up. But something inside you feels off, slower, weaker, less alive. Now here's the real question. Why is no one talking about the one food that could help bring back the energy, confidence, and performance you thought was lost for good? Because the truth makes people uncomfortable. It challenges industries. And it starts with one small word: cholesterol. For decades you were told to fear it. To avoid eggs, cut fat, and choose cereal instead of protein. But new science says the opposite. Your body actually needs cholesterol, the right kind, to produce testosterone. That hormone fuels your energy, your strength, even your ability to perform in the bedroom. And guess what food gives your body exactly what it needs? To make more of it? A single egg. But here's the twist. It's not just about eggs. It's about control, about convenience, about pills. You see, Big Pharma doesn't profit from eggs. There's no prescription, no refill, no commercial. A carton of eggs doesn't need a marketing team, but a testosterone booster? A prescription. Pill for performance? That's big business. And business doesn't like simple solutions. That's why they don't tell you this. Your body already knows how to heal. You were designed to thrive, not decline. The real question is, are you giving? Your body what it needs to do its job? Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you boil one egg. You eat it slowly. You go outside, feel the morning sun, you breathe in. And for a moment, a real honest moment, you feel alive. Not because of a pill, not because of a shot, but because you chose something real, something ancient, something yours. Now think of the last time you felt truly powerful. Was it 10 years ago? 20? Maybe more? What if it didn't have to stay in the past? You don't need to change your whole life. Just one habit. One food. One decision. And if this message found you at just the right time, maybe it wasn't by accident. Maybe it's your body's quiet way of saying, I'm still here, don't give up on me. And if someone you care about came to mind while hearing this, maybe they need this message too. Don't keep it to yourself, whisper it forward. Because strength, real strength, begins with knowledge and the courage to act on it. You wake up and something feels off, not pain, not illness, just emptiness, a kind of quiet fog that follows you all day. The energy that used to push you forward is missing. The spark that wants to find you in how you moved, how you spoke, how you looked in the mirror, it's dimmed. But what if I told you it's not lost? It's just been ignored. Most men over 60 think it's only the body that slows down. Muscles shrink, stamina fades, and performance. Well, but what no one tells you is how deeply connected your body is to your mind. Your mood, your confidence, even your will to keep going, all of it is wired into one system. One powerful loop between your brain and your hormones. And that loop, it runs on fuel. It runs on the right food, the right signals, the right habits. And yes, sometimes it runs on something as simple as an egg. You see, one egg isn't just breakfast, it's biology. It carries protein to build you back, choline to sharpen your brain. And most importantly, it supports dopamine, the brain chemical that makes you feel alive, focused, assertive. Dopamine and testosterone aren't strangers. They dance together. When dopamine rises, testosterone often follows. And that right there changes everything. Your walk, your tone, your desire to show up and take control again. Most men don't need a pill. They need permission. Permission to believe that strength isn't just about lifting weights. It's about standing tall inside. About feeling like yourself again when no one's watching. And food, real food, has always been the first medicine for that. Think back. Remember the days when you felt unstoppable? It wasn't just youth. It was chemistry. It was alignment. And if part of you thinks, I'll never feel like that again, let me gently challenge that thought. Because the body has memory. And every single day, it's waiting for your signal to fight again. You don't have to change everything. Just one thing. Maybe it starts with how you eat tomorrow morning. Or maybe it starts with a thought, the one forming right now. And if this message made you feel something, then maybe it means something. Maybe someone you love needs to hear it too. Maybe this is how your comeback begins, not with noise, but with a quiet decision to rebuild mind, body, and manhood from the inside out. You've spent years putting others first. Your children, your job, your responsibilities, and in the middle of all that giving, something slipped away. Slowly, quietly, you didn't even notice it at first. A little less strength in your handshake. A little less fire in your eyes. You thought, maybe this is just age. Maybe this is normal. But what if it's not? What if what's happening inside you is your body crying out for attention? A silent rebellion triggered by something you've ignored for too long. That tired feeling when you wake up. That fading desire. The fog that won't lift from your thoughts, it's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's nature's way of warning you that something vital is shutting down. You see, testosterone isn't just about sex. It's about identity. It's about the fire that keeps you motivated, ambitious, even joyful. When it drops, everything drops with it. Muscle starts to fade. Mood starts to swing. Sleep becomes shallow, and soon you're not just feeling older. You're becoming someone you don't recognize. And here's the part no one tells you if you keep ignoring these signs. The damage doesn't stop. It deepens. Erectile dysfunction isn't just physical. It chips away at your confidence. Depression doesn't always come with tears. Sometimes it just shows up as silence. And when your body forgets how to build strength, your mind follows. That man used to be sharp, steady, powerful. He's still in there, but he's waiting. Waiting for you to stop pretending this is just age. Waiting for you to make a shift. A change. A signal that says, I still care. I still want this. Life. I still want to feel alive. You didn't come this far to fade out quietly. You built a life with your hands. You protected people with your words. You led by example. And now the most important battle is the one no one sees. The one inside. Your body knows how to fight, but it needs your help. One better meal, one deeper breath. One more reason to rise. And maybe, just maybe, this video was meant to remind you of that. Not by chance, but because some part of you is still searching. Still hoping. So if this message felt personal, that's because it is. And if someone you know might be struggling too, don't keep this to yourself, because when one man rises, it gives every man around him permission to do the same. And that's how we start winning again. Of course. Here's the ready-to-voiceover version of your final segment, written with deep emotion, strong motivation, and powerful imagery. They say change is hard. But what if it wasn't? What if the thing that starts turning it all around isn't a pill or a doctor or a complicated plan? What if it's just one egg? That's it, one egg. One tiny act of rebellion against the belief that it's too late. One crack in the shell of old habits, old fears, old limits. One choice that says, I still matter. I still want to feel strong. I still want to feel like me, because here's the truth. Most men wait. They wait for a better time, a clear sign, a final warning. But real power, it's never in waiting. It's in starting. So tomorrow morning, before the noise, before the news, before the world grabs your attention again, take a moment. Stand at that stove. Crack open that egg. Watch it sizzle. That's not breakfast. That's your comeback in motion. You're not doing this for anyone else. You're doing it for the man in the mirror. The man who's still in there. The man who never gave up. He just got a little quiet. So if any part of this message stirred something in you, even just a spark, hold on to it. Don't scroll past this moment. Honor it. And if you've ever felt forgotten, like the world moved on without you, hit that like button. Comment below. I'm starting with one egg. And subscribe, not because this is just a video, but because this is the start of your second chapter. And it's going to be your best one yet.